Hello and welcome to another edition of Medusa's Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Greg. Today we're going to make sesame chicken. Girls loved this dish when they were kids. Made it a few times at the restaurant for the guys. And what's nice about this dish is you can replace the chicken with deep fried cauliflower or broccoli or any type of deep tempura fried vegetable, or you don't even have to fry it. You can steam the vegetables and then toss it with this sauce and put that over rice. So there's a lot of options on this. So what I'd like to do is I want to get the sauce started, and what I have here, I've gotten prepped here a little bit ahead of time, is some aromatics, some green onions. I use the bottom whites for the aromatics, and I use the tops, the greens, for finishing the dish, for flavor and color. So I'm just smashing the garlic, I'm not chopping it. Same thing with the ginger. I cut it like a half-inch slice and just smash that down just to release all those ginger and their oils. And while I've got my knife dirty here, I'm also going to get my aromatics ready for marinating my chicken. So I got ginger and garlic in there as well, and some green onions. And I'm going to add a touch of brown sugar to this. And we're going to put a little soy sauce, about a quarter cup. We don't want our chicken swimming in this marinade. We just want to give it a little bit of seasoning. A dash of rice wine vinegar, and a little sprinkle of white pepper. We're going to put a little white pepper in our pot as well. I haven't turned that on yet because I haven't added the liquids, but I do want to get this this marinade for the chicken started. So like I said, I've got the aromatics in there, I've got ginger, I've got garlic, I've got soy sauce, I've got a little bit of rice vinegar, and I took a pound of chicken breasts, or I apologize, chicken thighs. I like using the thighs because they stay nice and moist and they give you a little bit of texture. So you know, as you can see, you know, this marinade is very light. Basically, we're just adding a little seasoning to it, okay? Nothing crazy, nothing intense. Got some aromatics. You can use whatever you like. You want cilantro, chives, basil. There really isn't any set rule. You know, what you always want to have in there is garlic, ginger, some sort of sweet and salty, and a little white pepper. Those are like the basic 5 in Asian cooking on what you need to marinate with. From there, it can go anywhere. So while that's marinating, we're going to turn on my nice black steel wok. If you're going to invest in anything, besides getting that great mortar and pestle that I have, a great wok made out of black steel conducts heat very well. The whole sides, everything gets nice and hot. It's the way you want to go. So to put together my sesame chicken sauce, I got a couple tablespoons of that garlic chili paste. I've got a half a cup of brown sugar. I've got just under a cup of honey. And if you're going to use a particular brand of honey, I would go with orange clove, because this sauce does well with like a little bit of orange zest in it. Just under, or just over a half a cup of ketchup. We're looking at probably about 5 ounces. I've got about 6 ounces of soy sauce. And the last thing I have is rice wine vinegar. I got a quarter cup of that with 2 teaspoons of arrowroot that I'm saving for the end. And I'm going to turn the heat here on high. So right now I've got the aromatics, I've got the honey, I've got the ketchup, I've got brown sugar, we've got the chili paste, we've garlic, ginger, scallions, soy sauce, little white pepper. We just want to get this to a simmer. Now, my wok, I can feel it starting to heat up here. And whenever you do any type of sauteing, you want to pretty much have all your mise en place ready to go. Now also in this sesame sauce, we need to put about a tablespoon or less of sesame oil. You can always add more. So just go easy with it when you start. And like I said, once the sauce gets warm and up to temperature, it's going to thin down quite a bit, and that's why we need to thicken it up at the end with a little bit of arrowroot and the rice wine vinegar. Chicken is marinating now very nicely. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the broccoli, and we're going to get that started. Pull it out, fry our chicken, pour that oil off that's in that pan into our other hot container that can handle hot oil, a nice metal pot. And then we're going to marry the sauce with the chicken and the broccoli. So all 3 of those components will come together. I got my wok spatula here. And I'm going to put a little bit of avocado oil. I like to use avocado oil because it has a high smoking point, it has no flavor. We want this smoking like this. And we want the garlic to, or the broccoli to have a little bit of color on it. We're going to add just a little bit of water so we can get some steaming action going. So as you can see, that pan is hot everywhere. And we want that, we want that broccoli to get some color. We want a little bit of caramelization. You want to cook this broccoli to about halfway. Set this here. This wok I purchased from China, and it's hand hammered. It's great for cooking other things other than Oriental or Asian food. You can make soup in this. You can use it as a steamer. What's nice about it is when you turn the flame on, it gets hot. And it gets hot from the middle all the way up the sides. So you really get good caramelization on whatever it is you're cooking, especially meats and proteins. So this broccoli has got a little bit of a light brown on it, nothing crazy. You can just see just a little bit of light brown. That pan is still very hot. We'll let that go just a little bit longer. Our sauce starting to simmer around the sides. Basically, we don't want to do anything there until we've gotten those onions softened up that are in there. Delicious. Okay, you can see the wok is smoking again. You know, there's something going on there. It's cooking. You know, as you can see, I got that light crust on the broccoli, a nice light brown. The pan is dry. I'm going to reserve my broccoli over there for now. I'm going to add quite a bit of oil because I'm going to fry my chicken. So I'm going with about a cup of oil. And for the sake of not having to wash my hands and keep everything cool, I'm going to, you know, I've got my heat on high. I'm going to try and get this oil up to about 350. You know, it'll start smoking when we're about there. I've got a mixture of half cornstarch and half flour here for my chicken thighs. And I'm going to mix these so they're individually coated with that cornstarch flour mixture. Toss that in my hands. Got that in the oil. That's all done. Get this out of the way. When you get that chicken in there, let it sit. Let it get some color. Don't mess with it. If anything, you might want to spread it out a little bit. But let that get some color. Our sauce has come to a boil now. Let me get cleaned up here a little bit. I got flour all over everything. Jesus. Look like a rookie here in the kitchen. Christ's sakes. Okay. This is boiling now. We're going to add the rice wine vinegar and the arrowroot just to give that sauce a little viscosity. We'll bring that back to a simmer. This chicken is looking good. You know, you could see that half an hour of marinade was just enough to get that chicken seasoned up. As you can see, that chicken is nice. You know, I cut it in bite-sized pieces so it'll cook quickly. Now you can make this sesame sauce as spicy as you want it. You know, I used a couple tablespoons of the chili garlic paste, but if I really wanted to beef this up a little bit, I would take a little crushed red pepper, and I'm going to put about a quarter teaspoon in there. Because I like a spicy chicken dish. You know, the spicier you go, the more it's going to end up being like a General Tso type of chicken sauce. So as you can see, this chicken is coloring nicely. I've got it separated in my wok so we can get some flavor going there. I've got my broccoli, I've got my green onions. The sauce is looking done. So we take my strainer here. There, we just press that aromatics and the garlic and ginger out of it. You know, those onions are nice and soft. They've released their juice. That's done. Now we add about a tablespoon or so of sesame seeds, maybe 2 tablespoons. There's our sesame chicken sauce, which, by the way, you don't need all this sauce for this chicken dish, but it's nice when you're making a sauce with at least 9 ingredients. You make a little extra so you can have it. As you can see, this chicken is really looking good. I cut it in half with my spatula to check, see where it's at. The chicken is cooked. As you can see, I've got maybe about a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of that fat. We're going to take some of that out, but some of it's going to add some richness to this dish. We're going to add the broccoli back. We're going to put about a 1.5 cups of this sauce in there. I'm going to turn the heat off. I've got some rice here that I cooked earlier on my Medusa platter. I'm going to put some, it's basmati rice. I love basmati rice. It has that perfumey, almost sweet. I love the texture of the rice. It's like threads. It's very, very fluffy and fragrant. Delicious rice. If you haven't had basmati, you should absolutely give it a try. It's so delicious. So here we go. We got the Medusa platter. You know, in chef school, they teach you not to pour from the saute pan onto the dish. You should spoon everything out. So for my instructors who are still living out there, I haven't forgotten how I was schooled. Never wash a wok or any black steel pan with anything but warm water. That's how it stays seasoned. That's how it stays beautiful. So all we need now is some green onions. And a little touch of sesame seeds. And there's our sesame chicken. with broccoli. Oh my God. I'm definitely going to have a bite of this. The chicken is soft and buttery. The sauce is clung, but it's not heavy. The broccoli is firm but cooked. Still has a little crunch. The basmati rice really just complements the whole thing. You saw me make this dish. It took less than 20 minutes from scratch. It'll cost you less than what you would pay to go out to have this dinner, and it'll be 3 times better. I hope you try this one, and I hope you enjoy it as much as my girls and I do as well. Thanks for joining me on Medusa's Kitchen, and we'll see you shortly with another great video on how I like to do it. Be well. We'll see you soon.